Incarnating on Earth is described by some as a school, a test, or a game, particularly by the New Age spiritual community. For most people, it does not feel like a fair one. From the moment of birth, individuals inherit unequal conditions: wealth or poverty, safety or instability, education or neglect, belonging or marginalization. Even before considering spiritual ideas, the material world alone makes it clear that the starting line is staggered. Within spiritual and esoteric worldviews, this imbalance is taken even further. Not everyone arrives here with the same degree of memory, awareness, or perception. A minority carry past life memories, initiatory knowledge, or access to occult systems that explain how power, attention, belief, and energy shape our reality. Some people understand the hidden rules of various systems, including economic, psychological, social, or spiritual, while most are left to navigate them blindly. Those who understand these hidden rules often benefit disproportionately. At the mundane level, this looks like elites exploiting labor, attention, and natural resources. At the esoteric level, it is exploiting consciousness itself. Fear, desire, belief, and identity become extractable resources. Humanity is not merely governed, but harvested emotionally, economically, and energetically by those who know how to manipulate systems of meaning and power. Secret cabals and supernatural villains have an unfair advantage over the ignorant. Occult knowledge can be understood broadly as knowledge that is hidden, gated, or deliberately obscured. Psychology, propaganda, financial systems, religious systems, and narrative control all function as modern forms of magic. They shape perception, behavior, and outcomes without most people realizing how or why it's done. Those who understand these mechanisms can steer crowds while appearing invisible. For the majority, incarnation involves enforced amnesia about prior lives, deeper purpose, or even basic truths about how systems work. People are trained to obey, consume, compete, and self-blame rather than to perceive these underlying structures. In such a world, sincerity becomes a vulnerability. Those who play fair in an unfair game are often the ones most easily exploited. This is where the idea of learning magic enters, not as fantasy spellcasting, but as reclamation of spiritual sovereignty. Magic, in its oldest sense, is the study of how consciousness interacts with reality. It includes self-knowledge, symbolic literacy, disciplined attention, and the ability to direct intention rather than be directed by it. To learn magic is to stop being purely reactive and to begin participating consciously in the shaping of one's life. Learning magic levels the playing field because it restores symmetry between awareness and power. It teaches discernment, how narratives influence emotion, how belief conditions behavior, how fear narrows choice, and how intention clarifies action. It trains individuals to recognize when they are being harvested emotionally, financially, or psychologically, and how to withdraw their consent from this harvesting. Most importantly, this kind of knowledge does not require dominion over others. In fact, At its ethical core, magic is sovereignty. True magic is not about exploiting humanity as a resource, but about refusing to be harvested and abused. It is about becoming harder to deceive, harder to program, and harder to drain. When more people gain this literacy, the systems built on unconscious compliance begin to weaken. If incarnation on Earth is a game, then learning magic is not cheating. It is learning the rules that were deliberately hidden. In a world where imbalance is the norm, awareness and occult knowledge itself becomes a quiet, radical act of justice.